Today I sit with the word and the idea of patience. Not patience with other people, not patience with the world, but patience with myself. The more I think about it, the more I realise patience is one of those things we all think we should have, but we almost never actually practice it, especially with ourselves. We get impatient when we don't heal fast enough, when we don't get the right results, when the vision in our mind doesn't match what's in front of us. And it's strange to me because patience is such a basic part of nature, yet somehow it feels foreign to us. I mean, look at how the world is designed right now. Everything is instant gratification, instant validation, instant messaging, it's instant everything. Instant results. We live inside this culture of immediacy, and that speed bleeds into the way we treat ourselves. It makes us feel like if something takes time, it must be wrong. If growth isn't visible, it must not be happening. But when I paint, I'm reminded of something else. Patience isn't separate from presence. Patience is presence. It's choosing to stay with what is right here instead of rushing towards what's not yet. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of my thought patterns that I'm having lately seem to marinate and cross-pollinate into each other. Almost feels like I'm weaving my words in and out of each other, yet talking about different subjects, but ultimately they all seem to fall under the same thing. Sometimes when I'm painting, I'll find myself moving over the same area again and again, not to correct it, not to get it right, but because there's a rhythm there, a dialogue happening between me, the brush, and the colour. And that dialogue takes me time. It doesn't reveal itself all at once. Mixing colours teaches me patience too. You can't rush the shades into harmony. You have to sit there, swirl after swirl until the tones find you. And even then, some days the colours don't land the way I want it to, but instead of frustration, I'm learning to just notice it, to let it be what it is, because what is patience if it isn't about controlling the outcome, but about staying long enough to see what emerges. I think about how often we turn against ourselves, how quickly we get frustrated when progress doesn't match the picture in our minds. But here's the thing, who said it was supposed to? Who decided growth had to follow a timeline? When I really sit with it, patience feels like one of the most radical forms of self-love, because it means I'm willing to give myself the same grace I give nature. Seeds take time, roots take time. A tree might spend years growing underground before anyone even notices it's alive. And isn't that what healing is? Isn't that what becoming is? Invisible progress, silent shifts, 1,000 micro adjustments happening inside before the blossom ever shows. So when I'm impatient with myself, it's usually because I've bought into this illusion that time is running out, that I'm late, that I constantly feel like I have to show in the physical realm before showing myself internally, that I'm constantly in a phase of regeneration. And that is okay if I'm not there already. Sometimes I do have the thought, should I be there already? Wherever that is. But the truth is, there is no clock. I'm not late. My life is not behind schedule. Presence doesn't wear a watch. Presence doesn't have a deadline. Presence just is. And the more I lean into that, the more I see patience as something softer, less like waiting, more like trusting. Trusting that what's unfolding has its own rhythm. Trusting that my body knows when to move and when to rest. Trusting that my soul doesn't need to be forced anywhere because it already knows the way. Patience in that sense feels like companionship, like sitting beside yourself and saying, I'm not going anywhere, I'll stay with you. And honestly, I think that's what so many of us are craving. Not speed, not shortcuts, but the comfort of knowing we won't abandon ourselves when things take longer than expected. Nature shows me this every day. The river doesn't sprint to the ocean. It winds, it bends, it takes its time. The sun doesn't rise faster just because I'm restless. A tree doesn't skip the winter because it wants spring sooner. So why do I rush myself? Why do I treat myself as though I'm on some invisible timer? The more I sit with it, the more I see patience is less about endurance and more about intimacy. It's not about waiting for some future version of me to arrive. It's about being gentle enough to stay with the version that's here now. And that changes everything, because suddenly, even the slow moments feel full. Even the pauses feel alive. Patience is mixing colors until they feel right. Patience is breathing deeply enough to remind my nervous system that I'm safe. Patience is repeating the same motion over and over again without labeling it a waste of time. Patience is presence, and presence is love. So today, that's what I'm practicing. Not rushing the process, not forcing a finish line, just staying, just lingering, just being. And maybe that's the quiet revolution, to give myself time without apology, without hurry, without condition. Patience isn't something I owe the world, it's something I owe myself.